Were you shocked and maybe a little intrigued when you heard about pet cloning? I certainly was. I felt two incredibly strong emotions at the same time. I thought pet cloning was very weird and natural even, but I was also thinking of a pet I would have cloned if I'd had the chance. Right away I wanted to know more about cloning and why I felt such strong and conflicting emotions about it. I learned that many people have similar reactions to the ones I had, and that what I thought was possible with cloning was not always true. I also learned there's a dark side to cloning, which is rarely talked about. But one of the most intriguing things about cloning is that even though most people have negative views about it, there are still plenty of people who decide to do it. And the number is growing as more people from around the world choose to clone their pets. Hello, my name is Denise McEwen. Welcome to Folklore and the Vernacular of Companion Dog Cloning, examining beliefs and ethics in regards to pet cloning. I am a folklorist, which is a fancy way to say I study folklore, and this course is based on what I have learned about cloning and people's beliefs about it. Folklore, at its very core, is the lore of the folk or the stories of the people. When people talk about and represent companion dog cloning, I see connections to the way we create and share folklore to understand the world and our place in it. By focusing on what people say, we can start to understand the kinds of expectations and beliefs people have in regards to pet cloning, specifically companion dog cloning. In this course, we focus on vernacular language, which is the everyday language people use to talk about cloning. However, vernacular language is only visible when we compare it with the official way the scientific community talks about cloning. So, for this reason, we also look at what science says about companion dog cloning and what science says is possible. People in the general public have their own way of understanding cloning. People do rely on some official channels of knowledge, like the media and science, but they are also influenced by other sources, such as mainstream or pop culture, like books and movies. Examining the different ways people talk about cloning provides insights into their personal beliefs and expectations regarding the process. But it also offers insights into what they feel about several other topics, including about how money should be spent, or what should be considered natural, and so much more. When we understand what people believe about cloning, we start to see how people create their own social worlds and understand their places in it. This course is made up of 6 modules. Each module, except for the last one, consists of 2 to 4 video lectures of varying lengths and a short quiz. The last module consists only of the final test, which is made up of true and false questions and multiple choice questions using the same format as the quizzes. There are also 3 short tasks in this course designed to help you relate to the topics at hand. One task is at the end of this video, one is in the middle of Module 3, and the third task is at the end of Module 4. In Module 1, we talk about what folklore is in more depth, and how it is different from official ways of knowing, like scientific knowledge. We also look at how folklore is different from other channels of unofficial knowledge. This helps us understand how people think of and talk about cloning. We also spend time talking about representation and how the use of specific words provides insights into how people feel about cloning or any other topic, and at how different words can change what we think of the topic. In Module 2, we talk about the somatic cell nuclear transfer cloning process, the process used to clone companion dogs. We continue this exploration with a very short overview on how to clone a companion dog. This helps us understand some of the scientific views about the process. But it also gives us some insights into some of the technical processes the dog owners become familiar with when they decide to clone their dogs. In Module 3, we start by examining different groups of animals and how we think of them and treat them differently, and how the bonds people share with their pets makes the pet group so different from other groups. This helps us understand why we focus on companion dog cloning rather than on all animals or on pets as a group. By concentrating on the particular words people use to express themselves, we also explore some of the reasons someone might want to clone their companion dog and what people believe is at stake when a dog is cloned. In Module 4, we look at some more of the common controversies surrounding companion dog cloning. Whether or not people agree or disagree with cloning, they have something to say about it. We start with the ways people talk about the cost of the procedure and how the cost refers to more than just money. Next, we look at the different ways people express their distrust in the cloning companies, with allegations that the companies take advantage of grieving pet owners. Moving on, we explore some of the ways people talk about cloning as going against nature and what natural might mean. Cloning is such a new technology that many people find it difficult to believe, but they also find it hard to talk about. In Module 5, we look at some of the difficulties cloning clients have when talking about different aspects of cloning. We also talk about silent narratives. These are the parts of the story that no one wants to talk about, and how they impact what we know about cloning. Lastly, we wrap up the course with highlights from the previous modules. And like I mentioned earlier, Module 6 is the final test. It consists of multiple choice questions and true or false questions. At the end of many videos, there's a recommended sources list for people who want to know more about certain topics. You do not have to read the articles or watch the videos, but they may help you understand some of the main points in the course. A reference list is located at the end of each video, and it can also be found in written form under the resources for this lecture. It may be beneficial for you to take notes during the course. I suggest that you keep a learning journal nearby so you can write down answers to the questions I ask. It's also a good idea to write down the questions and thoughts you have while going through this course. Also, remember, you can stop, rewind, or watch videos as many times as you like. The next video starts with a more in-depth look at folklore. But before moving to the next video, please take 5 minutes to complete the first task. Write down a couple of things you think of when you hear the word folklore.